I was thinking that when I was in my 20s, as you are now, and when I started working in the United States Senate in my 40s, I had never seen a Republican Speaker of the House. I'd never seen the House of Representatives controlled by Republicans. And when they first got that power, I stared, wondering, will they know how to do it? And pretty quickly proved, nope, they don't. And apparently, they still don't.
Exactly. And it's not just McCarthy. We know that the same things, similar things happened with both Boehner and Gingrich before them, that their own members threatened to overthrow them, to make sure that they lost their job just the way McCarthy just did. But they took a different road and decided to resign. McCarthy said, bring it on. And it was brought on. It was brought on very quickly. And unfortunately, we made history. And look, this is a solemn moment, right? The House of Representatives cannot take on any new legislation as of now. All we can do is focus on electing a new Speaker of the House. And guess what? The rule that made it so McCarthy right now isn't the Speaker is still the rule. And so what I'm telling folks is we need to work on making sure that we get rid of this rule, or else the House of Representatives will always work at the bidding of folks like Matt Gaetz and the people on the far right, MAGA extreme wing of the Republican Party.
Yeah, the Constitution only mentions one position in the Congress. Doesn't say anything about there being Senate chairmen or Senate majority leaders. It does say there has to be a Speaker of the House. And right now, America does not have a Speaker of the House.
Yes, exactly. And we have no idea what the timeline is on how this is going to be rectified and fixed. We know both Congressman Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise have announced their races, but we're unable to really understand where this is at, and we'll have more clarity next week. The entire Republican caucus or conference is in chaos right now, and they brought this upon themselves. We all knew this was coming. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. And now it's happening right now. We're less than 45 days away from another government shutdown. We have a budget to get through. We have a lot of work to do. And the Republican Party has imploded from the inside out.
I know none of us really have any tools for predicting what happens next with the current Republican control of the House, because none of us have ever seen anything like this. How many ballots will it take for either Jordan or Scalise to emerge as the front runner? Then how many ballots after that? We don't know. And of course, but what we do know, as Kevin McCarthy proved and Paul Ryan proved before him, that the position of Republican Speaker is a powerless position, leaving the House dysfunctional.
110%. And what we've seen here is every time it becomes very dysfunctional, it's been under a Republican majority. And like you said at the beginning, they are just not ready to govern. This is not, I'm not even talking about ideology or left versus right. This is about, does your conference or caucus have the ability to govern, to pass legislation, to pass budgets, to work for the American people? And what we've seen since the day I came to Congress, because remember, I didn't get sworn in on January 3rd like you're supposed to. I got sworn in many days later on a Friday night at 2 a.m. I think it was 2:15 a.m. because the Republican Party could not get it together. And what I said then and what I'll say now is that was a microcosm and a model of the next now year of a Republican majority. And so we'll see what happens. Like you said, there's no way to know what the next few days, next few weeks look like. We can only hope that they get it together so we can move on with the business of this country. Co-governance working together. We passed that continuing resolution to stop us from going into a government shutdown. And guess what? 90 Republicans voted against it. Almost every single Democrat voted for it. That is what bipartisanship looks like. And unfortunately, McCarthy wasn't interested in it. And hopefully the next speaker will be.